Yamaha have finally pulled the covers off their long-awaited prototype, the M1 V4, making its official debut as a wildcard entry at the 2025 San Marino Grand Prix at Misano. The bike, a radical shift from Yamaha's traditional inline-four philosophy, marks one of the boldest decisions in the Japanese manufacturer's MotoGP history. The new machine will be ridden this weekend by Yamaha test rider Augusto Fernandez, while factory stars Fabio Quartararo and Alex Rins are set to take to the saddle during the official post-race IRTA test on Monday. Both riders have already sampled the V4 configuration in a private test at the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya earlier this year. However, early lap times suggested there is still work to be done, with Quartararo reportedly lapping 1.5 seconds off his own qualifying pace from the Catalan GP. According to Yamaha, the primary purpose of this Misano wildcard is data gathering rather than results. Yamaha Motor Company's General Manager of Motorsport Development, Takahiro Sumi, explained that the V4 is still at a formative stage of development. Since the very beginning of the V4 project, there have been many questions to answer. This prototype represents an integrated effort between Japan and Europe, with the shared goal of returning Yamaha to the top step of the podium, Sumi said. Our philosophy is evidence-based development, and the V4 is the physical embodiment of that approach. Backing up Sumi's comments, Paolo Pavesio, managing director of Yamaha Motor Racing, underlined the significance of global collaboration. This prototype is the fruit of combined efforts between Yamaha Motor in Japan, Yamaha Motor Racing in Europe, and our carefully selected technical partners. The racetrack will ultimately decide whether we've succeeded, but I'm proud of the way we've embraced change faster, more agile, and more open in how we leverage our global assets. Project leader Kazuhiro Masuda confirmed that Yamaha's V4 journey has followed a methodical plan: dyno testing, track correlation, and now a full stress test in live race conditions. This weekend is about measuring the prototype under genuine GP conditions, Masuda said. On Monday, Fabio and Alex will take over to broaden our dataset. If the results are encouraging, the next milestones will include further testing in Sepang and Valencia. Masuda also emphasized Yamaha's comprehensive and disciplined approach. Every phase is carefully structured. So far, progress has been consistent with our expectations. We are determined to leave no stone unturned. For over 2 decades, Yamaha have relied on the inline-four engine configuration, a design famed for smooth power delivery and high corner speed, but increasingly criticized for its lack of acceleration against the V4-dominated field led by Ducati, KTM, Aprilia, and Honda. The M1's inline-four pedigree produced legendary success stories, from Valentino Rossi's golden era to Jorge Lorenzo's metronomic precision. But in modern MotoGP, where explosive acceleration and outright power often dictate results, Yamaha have found themselves increasingly vulnerable. Ducati's Desmosedici, in particular, has set the benchmark with devastating straight-line speed, leaving Yamaha struggling to keep their riders in contention. The M1 V4 project is therefore more than just a new engine. It represents a philosophical shift and a willingness to break from tradition in pursuit of competitiveness. Rivals will be watching Misano with intense interest. Even if Fernandez finishes outside the points, every lap will provide Yamaha with invaluable insight into performance, reliability, and adaptability. For Quartararo and Rins, the Misano test on Monday will be pivotal. It is one thing for a test rider to circulate, but quite another for top-tier MotoGP talent to extract the maximum. For Yamaha's riders, the V4 may represent not just hope, but necessity. Quartararo, a world champion in 2021, has been outspoken about Yamaha's lack of progress in recent seasons. Rins, meanwhile, knows the uphill battle of joining a factory in transition. Their feedback could shape the very DNA of Yamaha's MotoGP future. Yamaha's decision to unveil the V4 at Misano is as much psychological as it is technical. By choosing a wildcard debut, they've sent a message to both fans and rivals. Change is happening, and it's happening now. But the road ahead will not be easy. Ducati's dominance is entrenched, KTM are rapidly evolving, and Aprilia have proved they can build a race-winning machine. Yamaha's V4 project will need not only speed, but also consistency, reliability, and adaptability across different circuits. Still, there is no denying the symbolism of this weekend. A manufacturer known for its loyalty to tradition has admitted that the old ways no longer suffice. The M1 V4 is a bold attempt to reinvent Yamaha's MotoGP identity, and in a sport where milliseconds decide careers, boldness may be the only way forward. If the Misano wildcard proves anything, it is that Yamaha are no longer content to play catch-up. They want to fight, they want to innovate, and they are ready to disrupt the established order. The paddock, already buzzing with speculation, will be watching every lap. The Misano launch of the Yamaha M1 V4 is not just a technical unveiling, but also a psychological moment for the paddock. For years, Yamaha have been criticized for their reluctance to abandon the inline-four, a philosophy that many felt had reached its competitive limit. By breaking that tradition, Yamaha have effectively admitted that their rival's V4 path is the benchmark, and now they are racing to catch up. One of the key talking points among insiders is how quickly Yamaha can adapt their chassis and electronics to the demands of a V4. Historically, Yamaha's strength has been mid-corner agility and smooth power delivery, traits that could be compromised if the V4 is not tuned with precision. Engineers now face the delicate task of balancing raw power with the unique characteristics that made the M1 beloved by riders in the past. Another layer of intrigue is the wildcard rider himself, Augusto Fernandez. While the Spaniard has proven speed and consistency, he does not carry the same pressure as a full-time factory rider. This could allow Yamaha to gather clean, unfiltered data without the distraction of championship ambitions. Fernandez's role is therefore crucial. He is both the test pilot and the messenger for Yamaha's engineers. Industry experts are already speculating about the long-term implications. Will this project eventually become the full-time factory machine in 2026? If the transition proves successful, Yamaha could rebuild themselves into genuine title contenders. But if the project stumbles, the risk is huge. Years of effort and investment could leave the brand even further adrift from Ducati's all-conquering fleet.